What's up, YouTube? So we're here today with another kind of army showcase of my Tyranids. So this is my Tyranid army painted in a coconut crab scheme. It was half done, so I kind of wanted to speed this one up so I could use it in one of the Warhammer 40k leagues. So half the army I gave to a local painter, and then I did the rest to kind of speed it up. And this isn't even the whole Tyranid army. This is only 1/3 of it, and 2/3 is still unassembled. And I just decided not to continue assembling it because they announced 10th edition Tyranids and how some base sizes were changing. So I think I have unassembled either 24 or 36 termagants. So these models, the tiny troop dudes or dudettes with the guns, and these are 25mm bases. I believe they're now 28.5. And you can't even buy those on eBay, like the third-party bases, because no one really makes 28.5, I believe. So I just decided to wait until the official reveal tomorrow to see what's on what size base before I go ham. But I did hear that Games Workshop tournaments do let you use the base size of something that it was released originally on. So, for example, Gene Stealers are on bigger bases now, but at events they let you use the smaller bases. But let me know what your guys' local game store lets you guys use. So yeah, let's check out these models. So these are painted by Ian Gay from Lemoore. Very good paint job. He really did a good job on the coconut crab scheme. And I did a very peasant job on basing these. I kind of wanted it to look like a realistic sand, and if you ever use sand basing, real sand on a miniature does not look good. Like it just doesn't have, it's just weird. Like the texture, the look of real sand with no shading just looks weird. So I think the thing to do is to use Agrax Earthshade to darken it up and get in the recesses, and then dry brush it like a Screaming Skull or Ushabati Bone to give it like a little lightened color. And I'll show you an example of that basing. So yeah, here are the guard here. Let's pick one of these bad boys up. So here's one. Ian did the model, like I said. Very good coconut crab scheme, I think. And then I did the basing here, and you could see I used real sand. And then I used some water effects in there, and I think I should have mixed the water effects with some blue paint to give it a kind of oceany water look, which I still can. I could layer it on top of it. But yeah, that is the scheme. It's pretty simple, basic scheme. You could look it up on YouTube under Catgut's painting tutorial, which I'll link in the description below for those who want to give it a peek. He does a way better job than us, of course. He's the creator, the mastermind. So yeah, so this is the basic paint scheme. So let's show you something with some wash and dry brushing. So here's the Forge World model. Let's give this a peek here. I'm gonna try to one hand and not drop it. It's a heavy, big model. Okay, so here's this basing. So this basing was with sand and the original, I don't know, scenic base, I guess you could call it, with some Agrax Earthshade, and then I dry brushed it in Ushabati Bone and Screaming Skull. And just like the different shades look way better. Instead of just being straight, normal, real sand, the different dry brush shades with the Agrax Earthshade looks so much better. And this is the actual models painted by Ian Gay for this one too. So very, very good job. He did a great job on this one. So yeah, my original plan for this army was like a Monster Mash army. And then of course Games Workshop gave us the middle finger and said, you guys can no longer use Forge World models. So a lot of these are going legendary, and they say it just shouldn't matter to you if you play casually, but let's be real, most players who want to play on a pickup Warhammer 40k game want to play a practice competitive game. So no one really cares about your legend models. Like, you know what I mean? This is also like a very cool model that got legended. Is that even a word? Legended. Very cool model. Coconut crab scheme. Let's give it a little close-up peek here. Oh, camera's focusing in. And here's my failed attempt at my first time using water effects. If you ever use Vallejo water effects, it kind of just is like water and it runs everywhere, and it's just clear resin that just gets everywhere. So do not put a bunch of it at once. You want to do thin layers at a time and kind of build it up. Otherwise it will spill everywhere and just destroy your table and model. All right, check these guys out. A little Venom throw action here. And then of course our Exocrines, gotta love your big guns never tire boys. And in 10th edition, these bad boys are gonna be sick. You could now shoot in combat, and you could shoot monsters that are in combat also. But of course you suffer a -1 penalty shooting into combat and shooting at someone in combat. Some Rippers here, which are actually trash in 10th edition, so these are just gonna go back into the storage bin. Hormigons here. And then check this out. So these are 3D printed warriors, because at the time you could not buy warriors. They were sold out. And then I ended up getting 12 warriors, and I'm just so burned out from painting that I did not want to paint more. So they're still unpainted and primed in storage. Let's check out this. This is the Swarm Lord here. Very cool. Love that look. Oh, here's another first attempt at, one of my first attempts trying to use water effects. So you could tell the liquid resin kind of bloats up and comes off the sides of the base. Like when I first did it, it was perfectly round and fit the base, and it kind of just overflowed. So it was a major fail. Very hard to work with. I do not recommend it unless you practice a lot and do not destroy your figure, which we will come to right here. So this is an example where the water effects destroys your figures if you do not know how to use it. So here's my figure. I put it on this base, and I followed the instructions where you surround it with a piece of plastic to form a little barrier around the base, and then you fill that piece with the liquid resin, and then you allow it to sit. I let this stuff sit for 2 weeks. It said it should take several days. Yeah, this stuff expanded, and just like all this stuff was not like this when it hardened. Throughout like the month of having this model, the water effect kind of expanded and just lifted up the whole basing and bent the model forward like this, like like he's like leaning forward. He's in an eternal pouncing stance. So I need to get like a stick or something and shove it in here to make him stand back up, because I destroyed a perfectly good paint job. So annoying. That's what I get for trying to be different. I should have just used sand basing and dry brushed it with the seashells. Okay, then here's me experimenting again with the paint job on the Harpy. I thought it was kind of boring having just the 3 colors, so I thought of doing some contrast on the wings, or like a contrasting pink purple color. And I'm not sure if I like it or not. I think I effed it up, but it's too late to go back, so I'm gonna keep it. And then I tried experimenting more with the water effects. I kind of made like a little reservoir to make sure none of the resin leaked out, and expanded up like the other one. So I made like a little pool. And then I sealed the pool with glue, which was not a good idea because you could see the glue also on the basing. So yeah, I think if I were to go back, I would not play with the liquid resin. It's just too messy and destroys the models. Here's a 4-year-old Tyrant, very cool model. With his gun, I love it. But yeah, so this is my Tyranid army in coconut crab scheme. Hopefully you guys liked it. I think I'm gonna continue with this scheme and paint the rest of the models. I'm actually thinking about selling the 4-year-old models because it's just like, what is the point of keeping them at this point? Like, they're just paperweights. Games Workshop took away, like they weren't even good in competitive games and now they just made them unplayable. Like you can't use them. I could just keep them on the shelf as a display in the office, but I don't know, I could use it to fund more armies. But yeah, so hopefully you guys liked that video and are having good luck on building your armies for 10th edition. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.